I just come from the spinal doctor, and I have his name out there. And I was steady talking, didn't realize that I had not gone live. And if the topic of this that some of you, if it's offensive or it's exactly what he told me. He comes in, he shakes my hand, and he said, well, pop your glove box and get your gun. And I looked at him and I said, well, I guess that means it's just something that I have to live with. And I said, and by the way, that's exactly what my brother did.
What did you say to that?
He just looked at me and said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mama's mad. And Casey's livid. Jennifer, it was the spinal surgeon I just went to. And he said there's nothing to do. He said, it's just arthritis. I understand that. That's not what I'm upset about. I'm upset that a doctor, a surgeon would walk in, shake your hand, and say, well, pop your glove box. Guys, how can a surgeon tell somebody that when you have chronic pain and you've been in pain for so long? How in the world could a doctor tell you? And I told Casey's so mad. Casey's so mad.
It's the one that he didn't cut them out.
And I said, what if I did have a gun in my glove box? What if I had a gun in my glove box? What if I hadn't used it? Would that matter to him? You guys,
what is that doctor's phone number?
I had to take. I understand there's nothing. I understand that. And I will live, Casey's got it. I will live with it. And that's what I said. I said, okay. I understand that you can't that it's better that you don't operate. I understand that. But what are you telling me? That it's all in my head? He said, no, it's arthritis. But you guys, so I sit there and understand what he was telling me. But you don't go in a room with somebody.
Which doctor was it?
Not that. That's them wanting me to go to pain management. That's his name. That's the.
I don't see no name.
Dr. Gorham. I put his name on here. I put the name. His full name. And I'm sorry. But I have said it before. I try to stray away from real tough subjects. But I did have a brother that had back surgery. And he was 34. And the doctors had told him that there's nothing we can do. You have to live with the pain. And my brother said, no, I don't. He was in the military. And he did live with it until it kind of coupled up with somebody that broke his heart. And he stopped living with the pain, both emotional and his back pain. When he would come to my house, he would sleep in my lounge chair sitting up because that's the only way he could sleep. And Casey, you guys pray for Casey. But I walked out of there and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. And all I could think about was my brother. Casey's calling right now. He's on the phone to the medical board. And he had a student come in with him. He had a student come in to hear him say that. But I looked straight at him. And I told him, I said, that's what my brother did. And he just was like flippant. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish Casey hadn't been with me. He has enough to deal with right now. To have heard that. You guys, really? I got snot rays all in here. Casey played our music. He played our music come down the road. You don't tell somebody that when you have all this medication that you had to take to show them. You don't tell them that. Not only is that something that I battle, and I spent 3 years in my bedroom battling it, knowing that I have enough medication to take and never wake up. Or to have before you guys. Having Casey come in there and check on me and say, Mom, are you okay? You haven't taken anything, have you, Mom? I really should have told him. Well, I tried twice in high school. It shocked me. It really shocked me.
Kathy with the medical board is mailing us out a claim to file. She's mailing it out to us today.
Come stand beside me. Just don't talk, husband. Somebody said breathing. I can't read. I don't know what everybody's saying. But Casey has been here, and for the past going on 4 years, he's kept the check on me. And I said, are you guys saying it's all in my head? And he said, no, you have arthritis. I'm glad I don't have to have surgery, you guys. It's how he approached it. It's the way. It's what he said.
Well, that lady at the medical board, she sounded like she hit the floor. So I wrote down timestamps of what she said. We need to be as detailed as possible.
And I'm not doing this as shock. You guys, I'm not doing this for attention, I promise. If anybody comes across this and, you know, I don't know. Thank you. So Casey, I asked him on the way back, I said, just put on some praise music. And Casey gripped, he had the He had gripped the steering wheel so hard. I try to bring joy and I try to bring happiness because from such a young age, I've had so much crap. And my sister in Florida was treated so bad after my baby brother got hit by a car because she was with him. I battled depression as far back as I can remember. I try to bring joy because Jesus has been with me from such an early age. And so I lost my brother. He was 34, I was 30. And he was awesome. He was the kindest person, never hurt anyone. Then 4 years ago, my last brother had pancreatic cancer and he died. My mother, a few Sundays ago, I guess you could say she threw me one. And there's just been a lot going on. There's been so much going on. And I come on and I've told other people, don't let nobody think you're crazy. You hurt, and you know it. And I try to give love and be there. And I'm doing this because guess what? There could be somebody else out there that could have very well got in their vehicle and done that terrible thing. Or a family member. I don't know what Casey would have done. Casey was horrified for me. He grew up knowing the pain that I suffered. He grew up knowing why I don't like guns. The mere mention. I've never liked being around them because of the violence that my mom used to grab one. And then years later, my brother did what he did. Oh, there's people out there. You have to be careful what you tell them because you haven't lived in their head. And that's why I put his name. I put his name. And I put where he's out of. Because you know what? I wouldn't want anybody to go to him. Is it easier? Is it easier for these doctors to just rather people with chronic pain to do away with themselves? Is it easier? And him saying, well, I'm just a surgeon and walking out. And then the woman in there, her saying, well, he's just a surgeon. That's no excuse. Yes, I'm glad I don't have to have surgery. And yes, I told him, I said, I can live with the pain. I've been living with the pain. I don't want any extra medicine. I said, I don't want anything extra. I can live with the pain. That's what I've been doing. And he said, okay, good. Walked out of the room. So I had to ask her, I said, so you guys saying it's all in my head? She said, no. She said, I'm not, he wasn't saying that. She said, it's just that it's nothing he can operate on. I said, I understand that.
You did say Dr. Gorham, didn't you? Okay, I just called for under complaint. And they supposed to call me back in the morning.
Well, I've been reported him to the medical board. They're sending us the documentation file against him.
Good. Well, see, I didn't know who to call, so I just called the office and asked for a name of someone that I could
I'm sorry, you
have a
guys.
complaint. They said, what doctor? And I went into details and told them.
I am so sorry, you guys. I told Casey, I said, when I get home, I'm going live and I'm going to give his name. Because no one.
Wonder you didn't go over that table and strangle him.
Okay. Don't get Casey, Mama, don't get Casey. Because he's already.
I know, I'm just saying in my mind, I could see him doing that.
You guys, I do have dark thoughts and I do have terrible things that come in my mind at times. And on the way home, I did. And Casey, he put on the music.
Try not. We're gonna handle it. If he won't talk like that to nobody else.
Casey put on the music, but there's still that part of me that I can't help. That have those thoughts. And I pray about it. And there was a song, it's one of the songs talking about through God all things are possible. And we can fly like eagles and soar. And I took that in. But you know, it's still, the thoughts are still, you know, they don't go away. Not for some people. But Casey and Kevin, Momo, the hole it left when my brother was gone has never been replaced. But I understand now how he could do what he did. I understand. It took me having chronic pain, and I explained to my oldest sister how I understood why he did what he did. And I want to, there was some people I was wanting to get home and watch their video and give some encouraging words, and instead I dumped this. So, you know, if you guys come across people on YouTube that and try not to just tell them or, tell other people and then you get back to them. There's nothing wrong with you to prove that, that you're sick. You're just lazy. You just want to stay home. If you ever come across, don't tell people that. Because you really don't know what is in somebody's mind. That's why there's a few people when I came across their videos, and I saw the hurt, I reached out to them to show them love and to know there's somebody out there. And recently, Kevin took my hand and he said, "Baby, you know I love you, don't you?" And I was having crazy thoughts. And and he says, you know I couldn't make it if something happened to you. You know that, don't you? And I told him, I said, "Yeah." I said, "I know that." I said, "You ain't got to worry." Because he just didn't know. God put it on his heart. God put it on his heart. Because I was having those crazy thoughts and I didn't tell him. And I said, "I love you too, Kevin. I couldn't make it without you either." And I think of you guys. And I have a friend, best friend at work. I mean, it works at Kroger. And he and I went to school together. And he lives with chronic pain. And I told him, I said, I tried twice in high school. And he said, "Do you know what would have happened? My whole life would have been different if I would have come to school and I would have been told that you were no longer here." And I said, "Barry, just don't think I impact." I mean, I said, especially in high school, it wasn't kids at school. It came from home. And recently, I told my mom finally, and she just didn't acknowledge it. But, you know, my oldest sister was devastated when I told her because I didn't say anything for a long time. Even before I had chronic pain, you guys, I had anxiety and I had emotional problems even before. These goes way back. And just know, if this video gets to somebody else, we impact somebody whether we realize it or not.
Human video need to call Dr. Martin. Let him know what's going on. Kevin said to call him. Call Kevin. I love you,
I
honey.
love you too, Mama. I know you guys love me. And you guys impact me. And I'm sorry I was going to reach out. I was going to reach out to you, Pitbull. Not this way. I was going to reach out to you. And, I get home and I'm no good for nobody. I'm no good to nobody. And I'm glad there was no gun in that car because I can't say what my son might have done. I'll be on in the morning. Bright and bushy tailed. With ugly bangs. With ugly bangs. Because the people in my life, I don't know what went through his mind when he heard that. I know he was thinking, no, you did not just say that to my mama. And Kevin, I don't know what in the world I do know what he would have said. I do know. So I'm gonna call Kevin, and I can't even read you guys your comments, but I know you guys love me, and I know you guys are mad. Thank you, thank you, Val, and you guys please do, because doctors, you think they tell you the right thing, and they try to buffer a little bit when they're dealing with somebody that's hurting. You would think, and I don't care House MD or whatever that I used to watch. People might think it's funny how the way his bedside manner was, but you know what? It's not funny. It's not funny to say those kind of things, and to think another doctor is going to be a surgeon is going to be picking up his mannerism. Maybe not, since I said no, that's what my brother did. Maybe maybe that guy will learn not to say that. You know, any other time I would just not said nothing. I used to never say nothing. But what my brother did, I'm not ashamed of him. I will never be ashamed of what he did or who he was. He served his country. He served in the Army and he served in the Air Force. And he was beautiful and he was precious. And I miss him like crazy. So that's what hit me. And walking to the car, it just come flooding back to me about a doctor telling him and him telling me. I said, "What did the doctor tell you today?" He told me, "Well, I'm just going to have to live with the pain." And I said, "What'd you say?" He said, "I told him, no, I don't." He said, "I don't have to live with nothing." And I said, and I just looked at him. And the day Kevin walked in this kitchen, after we'd had lunch, and Mama left the house, she left, and my sister-in-law was sitting here, and I didn't know why my sister-in-law was here. We wasn't living at the time here with Mama. We lived across the street. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Now I remember it like it was just hours ago. I'm standing at the sink and I've been talking to my sister-in-law and couldn't figure out why Mama left as soon as I walked in from lunch with my husband, with Keita. And Mama left and I'm like, they're up to something. Because my sister-in-law was just looking at me. And I was just rattling off, you guys know. Just rattling off, Had a good lunch with Kevin. I was feeling good. And I'm thinking they got a surprise because that's how Mama was. She'd surprise you with something. Well, in walks Kevin. I'm standing at the sink and I just left him. And then he walks and I'm like, what'd you do? Did you lose your job? The door right behind me. He walks in that door. Him and my mom. And I said, what'd you do? Did you lose your job? What's wrong? And Karen, my sister-in-law, drops her head. And Kevin Keevan comes around the table and he tells me, he says, darling, he said, Aubrey, he said, Aubrey's dead. First thing out of my mouth, I said, he killed himself, didn't he? I said, he killed himself. He killed himself. And Keevan said, we don't know. I said, yes, he did. I know he did. Yes, he did. He said, well, come on, we're going down to your mom's. My brother got in his Bronco or Blazer. He locked his door, and it was in the early morning hours. And he took it. He got his 357 Magnum. He put it to his chest, but he had his jacket up. That's how he'd sleep. Pull his hat down, have his jacket on, and that's how he would sleep at my house anywhere. That's how my younger brother found him. He knocked on his window, and he thought he was asleep. And he tried to open the door, and he couldn't. So my brother, 2 years younger than me, that's how he found our brother. So that's the impact. Slamming all that back into me for a doctor to say, pop your glove box and get your gun. Because that's what my brother did. And share it. And I'm going to have to call my husband.
When is your next appointment with Dr. Martin?
I don't know. I'm going to end this.
Because I'm gonna tell him about himself next time. Next time I have to walk into his office.
But I'm going to call Keevan. And you guys, if you know somebody that they have chronic pain, there are people. You live for people. God loves you. God's not mad at my brother for what he did. And I don't care what nobody says. I know where my brother is. And I don't mourn him because he's better off. Had he lived from his 30s to his 50s, what kind of life would he be in right now? But there's somebody you live for. You live for somebody. Your pain does not define you. You guys, Tracy sings to you guys in the morning. Tracy will be hurting so bad, and she sings to you guys. And we know, she and I know from our facial expressions when we need to stop because we're hurting. And there's things going on in my life right now. And put my hat on, and I said, devil, you are a lie. Because I'm going to go on, and I'm going to bring some joy. And Tracy's going to sing, and we're going to make somebody feel better. And that's what YouTube has been for me. All the other stuff I can deal with when I'm not on here. Casey does Porch Church. I get scripture. And he touches people through that. And our family, Mama was in the hospital. God gets us through things. And I love you guys. And I thank you. And like I said, anybody you know with chronic pain and it feels like the doctors have just made them feel crazy, I understand. I understand. I understand a lot of things. I understand about depression. I understand about pain. I understand about doctors. I understand about losing siblings and about parents that make you feel like you're nothing. And I know that God loves me and He loves you. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for God and His love. And then Him giving me the precious gifts that He has given me. I wouldn't be here. And like I said, I'll be on in the morning. And I'll see you guys, and I love you. And I'm going to call Kevin to see how he is. As you guys say, I love you.